Now if we go to the truck, every day I start, if I can start at home already, I'll have breakfast and I'll do the readings at home. And then there's a website where you can watch a priest do the homily and stuff. And so that's how I start after Vicky and I pray. And then I come to work, and it's usually pretty quiet at 4 or 5 in the morning when I start driving. So it's a good time to get a rosary in, maybe a couple even. Once I didn't even know how to pray the rosary maybe 8-10 years ago. I retaught myself how to do it because I was too scared to ask anybody. Like, I didn't want anybody to know that I didn't even know how to do that. Like, that's the craziest thing. And now I always say, I go back to my accident. Jesus, God, you saved me. What can I do for you? And now I'm going to add a rosary for every load I haul, because every load is a blessing from you. And so that's kind of, typically I do at least one rosary for every load I haul. It's usually more than that, but yeah, it's at least that, you know. It's the little things. I'm in the truck 8, 10, 12 hours a day. But I can say the rosary as fast as I want, as slow as I want. I don't really care. And if I'm getting traffic and kind of, drift away from the rosary, and then you can come back at your own leisure because you got all day. It's amazing just to be with God that way. There'd be times when my dad was in the hospital and I was worried about him towards the end of his days. And I have an iPod in there, so I just play the rosary while I slept. It just continuously played. And I just felt like that was a way of just continuously being with Dad and praying for him. Nobody lives forever, but you have to keep praying for them even after they're gone. Like, it's a comfort thing. Like, I feel bad sometimes that I don't feel worse about Dad. I miss him, but I have enough faith, and I know that he had enough faith that he's in a good spot, so I don't worry about him. But I can pray for him, but I don't. Sometimes you feel like a bad person because you don't feel as bad as you should. But like, man, they're in heaven, they're in paradise. Like, they got it going on. Someday we'll get there, but we have to go down the right paths, and we have to turn down them ourselves and open the doors. Like I keep saying, open the doors. The one other thing I always say is foundation. Like, we Catholics have such a good foundation, and everybody wants to change this, change that in the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church is over 2,000 years old. I don't think it needs fixing. It's been just fine the way it is for 2,000 years. So don't change it. Keep the foundation. Keep the sacraments. I mean, the sacraments are all the walls on the foundation of our church. I don't know, that's one way I look at it. Over the years, I started making wooden crosses and stuff. And now, my truck, a lot of people, and I use the term myself, it's my mobile chapel. And sometimes I was wondering if God wanted me to switch jobs and do something different, but I'm like, I would be out of the mobile chapel. It's like where I do all my praying. So I don't really know that I'm supposed to switch it up. I make crosses and give them away to people, but after my accident, I have a cross over the driver's seat and a cross over my passenger seat above me. So I always have a cross. I have crosses everywhere in there. It's a good feeling. Sometimes it feels like it's church. And I've had Father Reese come over, and he actually blessed my truck and blessed the inside. And it's just everything nowadays in my life, everything is, the background music is God. And no matter what I'm doing, it feels like it's just God. It's like I can sing in my truck. I sing terrible, so don't ever ask me to. But if I'm tired, maybe the rosary, sometimes you'd think that you'd fall asleep doing the rosary, but if you're yelling it and you're singing it, it'll keep you awake, and it's just funny sometimes. I was driving one night at 2 o'clock in the morning. It was a super long day. Probably driving more than maybe I should have. But I was up in Minnesota, and I messed up one of the Hail Marys with an Our Father. And I'm like, really, Mary? I messed it up. And just like that, I started the next Hail Mary, and I hit fog just like that. And when I got to the end of the Hail Mary, the fog lifted. I didn't see it before at all. I'd never seen it again the rest of the night. And I'm like, Mary, that was awesome. I don't know how you do that. And stuff like that, that'll keep you awake. It's this feeling of being that close, a friendship, and maybe even adding some humor to it. God doesn't have to be strict all the time and just people might think like a stern man. No, he can be a lot of fun to be around. It depends how you look at it, what kind of a relationship do you want with God? And was I always this way? Obviously not, but just over all the years, the last 10 years have been amazing. The diaconate, come on, let's just, so far out there, how can you ever expect me to do that? And here I am. All I want to do is please him. So, I'll go for the journey. They have to accept me. So I'm not to that stage. If I'm not, I'm perfectly happy where I'm at too. I would just as soon just keep bringing communion to the homebound and doing my little part and just being with God and praying. But apparently he thinks I need more. I don't know. One of the ways I look at God with my life, and my youngest plays volleyball. It's like hitting the volleyball over the net back and forth. And I feel like God kept hitting the volleyball over the net at me, and me not serving it back over. I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'm not playing your game, God. And so now I turned in my application, and I'm hitting the ball back over, and we'll see if he wants me, if he hits the ball back over. And we'll both make it work one way or another. Come, Holy Spirit, with my life with God, over the last few years, opening the door to him, you start working with God, if that makes any sense. But God, I'm thinking about doing this with my business. Should I do this with my business? And then I pray about it, so if you can see that we have a nice building to park the trucks in now. I do a lot of my own maintenance, everything I can myself. But that's why Dad brought us up. But years ago, before this building, it was out in a gravel parking lot, laying in a mud hole, fixing a U-joint, or it's this or it's that. And then you get to the point where it's like, I can't do it anymore. I'm going to sell everything, and I'm just going to work for somebody, or we're going to put up a shop so we can have the trucks inside and make life a little easier. And then you pray about it. And like, God, is this something you want? And if it's not, I'm okay with it. Just don't let it happen, and it'll be just fine with me. I don't care, God. But what do you think we should do here? Like, maybe more people should ask God what he wants from them. Like, this building is still, we've had it probably going on 4 years now. You're back in the door every day and you're like, this is a dream come true. It cannot even be. And then even now you ask God, I'm like, I thought I read you right. Is this okay? Like, if you want me to sell it, I'll sell it tomorrow. Do you want me to do something different with my life? How, I don't know how I'm going to work this whole diaconate thing that you're thinking I'm going to do into my life. And if this building isn't part of it, it's okay. Or if I need to just sell the business, it's okay. Just help me through it. And then one day I was power washing the floors off, and I'm like, God, why in the heck would you give me this? Or, let me have such a nice building if you wanted me to do something else. And it felt like he was just like, enjoy it. It's okay. And so, again, it's one day at a time. Maybe I won't have it in 5 years. I don't know. I don't care. I just, God will provide. And that's all any of us really need to know. But every decision that's big, we should pray about. And not like a one-time deal. It's continuously. Where do you want me to go? And how do you want to guide me? And are you sure you want me to do this? So that's just one more thing in my life that has been awesome.
Remember to subscribe, like, and share this video to join in our mission. Special thanks to all patrons who make Passionately Catholic possible. Visit anthonydigmann.com for more. May God bless you abundantly, and I'll see you again in the next episode.